Imagine the night of July 14th, 1881, a pitch-black adobe room in Fort Sumner, New Mexico. The air is stifling hot, thick with the smells of roasted meat, mesquite smoke, and the metallic tang of gunpowder. A slight 21-year-old man, barely 5 feet 7 inches tall, with a boyish face, bright blue eyes, and the instincts of a hardened wolf, stands frozen in the darkness. A revolver is somewhere nearby. He's hungry, freshly in love, and doesn't know that death is waiting just a few feet away in the shadows. In moments, his short, violent life will end with 2 gunshots. But his legend? That will ride forever across the American West. This isn't just another outlaw tale. This is the raw, bloody story of Billy the Kid, a boy who became the most famous gunman in history, the heart of the Lincoln County War, and a symbol of everything wild, free, and unforgiving about the frontier. Early life from New York. Slums to the harsh desert. Henry McCarty was born on November 23, 1859. Some records say September, in the crowded, disease-ridden slums of New York City, possibly Hell's Kitchen. His parents were poor Irish immigrants. Life was brutal. His father died young, and his mother, Catherine, moved the family west, first to Indiana, then to the silver mining boom towns of Colorado, and finally to New Mexico territory in search of a better life. By the time he was 12, young Henry had lost his mother to tuberculosis. Orphaned and alone in a land where the strong survived and the weak disappeared, the boy who would become Billy the Kid learned early that the world didn't hand out mercy. He took odd jobs, waiting tables, working in saloons, even doing laundry. Locals remembered him as polite, a good dancer, and surprisingly skilled with a harmonica. But underneath that charming exterior, steel was forming. His first serious trouble came in Arizona. At around 17, he killed his first man, a blacksmith named Windy Cahill, in a fist fight that turned deadly. Some say it was self-defense. Others called it murder. Either way, Henry McCarty became William H. Bonney, Billy the Kid, and went on the run back to New Mexico. The Lincoln County War. When neighbor turned against neighbor, the real firestorm erupted in 1878 in Lincoln County, New Mexico. This wasn't a simple bar fight. It was a full-blown economic and political war between 2 powerful factions, fighting for control of government contracts, cattle, land, and influence. On one side stood the Murphy-Dolan faction, backed by the powerful Santa Fe Ring, controlling stores, law enforcement, and politics. On the other was John Tunstall, a wealthy young Englishman, and his partner Alexander McSween. Tunstall hired Billy and a group of tough cowboys known as the Regulators. Tunstall treated Billy almost like a younger brother or son. He gave him responsibility, respect, and a cause. But on February 18, 1878, Tunstall was ambushed and brutally murdered by a posse working for Murphy-Dolan. Witnesses said he was shot while trying to surrender, his body mutilated. Billy swore revenge. The Regulators became judge, jury, and executioner. On April 1, 1878, they ambushed and killed Sheriff William Brady on the main street of Lincoln. Brady was hit by multiple bullets. The war escalated into open battles. The most intense fighting happened in July 1878 during the 5-day siege of the McSween house. Dozens of armed men exchanged gunfire. The house was set ablaze. Women and children were trapped inside. When the flames forced everyone out, Billy the Kid led a desperate breakout through smoke and bullets, guns blazing. He emerged from the Lincoln County War with a fearsome reputation. Historians today debate the exact body count. Some say he personally killed 4 to 9 men. Others inflate the legend to 21 by age 21. What mattered more was the fear and admiration he inspired. Billy was fast with a gun, loyal to his friends, charming with women, and deadly when crossed. He stole horses, rustled cattle, and lived by his own code in a territory where official law often served the highest bidder. Betrayal, jail, and the most daring escape in Western history in 1880. Newly elected Sheriff Pat Garrett, a tall, imposing former buffalo hunter who had once been friendly with Billy, received a mandate to bring the kid in. Garrett tracked him relentlessly. After a dramatic standoff at Stinking Springs, Billy was captured, tried for the murder of Sheriff Brady, convicted, and sentenced to hang. They moved him to the Lincoln County Courthouse jail to await execution. Billy was shackled, hand and foot. 2 guards watched him, Deputy James Bell and the brutal Bob Ollinger, who took special pleasure in tormenting the young prisoner. On April 28, 1881, Billy saw his chance. While Bell was escorting him to the outhouse, the kid somehow got hold of a revolver. Stories differ on exactly how. A smuggled gun or one left unattended. He shot Bell dead. Then, grabbing Ollinger's own shotgun from the window, he waited for the second guard to return from across the street. When Ollinger approached, Billy called out mockingly and blasted him with both barrels. The entire town heard the shots. Billy calmly broke his remaining shackles with an axe, took a horse, and rode out of Lincoln while citizens watched in shock and awe. It was one of the boldest jailbreaks in Old West history. He had killed 2 lawmen and vanished like smoke. The final manhunt and the fatal night in Fort Sumner pet Garrett never gave up. For months, he chased leads across the dusty plains and mountains. Billy hid with sympathetic Mexican families, singing songs, playing cards, and stealing just enough to survive. He was in love with a local girl and dreaming of slipping away to Mexico. On the hot night of July 14th, 1881, Billy went to the home of his friend Pete Maxwell in Fort Sumner looking for food. Garrett and 2 deputies were already there, waiting in the darkness after receiving a tip. Billy stepped into the darkened bedroom, sensing something wrong. "¿Quién es?" he whispered. "Who is it?" Garrett answered and fired. The first bullet struck Billy in the chest. A second shot followed. The kid collapsed and died within minutes, still wearing only his socks and underwear. He was just 21 years old. The legend lives on. Garrett quickly posed the body for photos. The corpse was displayed publicly. Newspapers declared the King of Outlaws dead. Garrett even wrote a best-selling book, The Authentic Life of Billy the Kid, which helped cement the myth while defending his own actions. Yet doubts appeared almost immediately. Some claimed Garrett shot the wrong man. Stories persisted for decades that Billy survived and lived quietly under different names into the 20th century. Books, movies, and ballads turned him into an American folk hero, a charming rogue fighting a corrupt system rather than a simple killer. Why Billy the Kid still captivates us. Wild West was a time of immense opportunity and brutal chaos. Law was often distant or for sale. Men like Billy, fast with guns, quick with loyalty, and unafraid of death, became larger than life. He wasn't a hero in the classic sense. He killed, stole, and broke the law. But in an era of powerful monopolies and crooked officials, many saw him as a symbol of resistance and freedom. His short life embodied the romance, violence, and tragedy of the frontier. From New York, orphan to feared gunman, from regulator fighter to escaped legend, Billy the Kid rode straight into immortality. Today, the winds still blow across the empty plains near Fort Sumner. Some locals swear they hear faint harmonica music or the distant thunder of hooves on quiet nights. Perhaps it's only imagination. Or perhaps that boy with the quick smile and quicker draw never truly learned how to die. If this story got your blood pumping, hit that like button. Drop a comment below. Whose Wild West legend should we cover next? Jesse James and his dramatic train robberies, the lawman Wyatt Earp and the gunfight at the OK Corral, the deadly female outlaw Belle Starr, or maybe the mysterious Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new deep dive into the gun smoke and glory of American history. Here, the Old West rides again.